Imagine standing alone in the freezing wilderness of the Ural Mountains. The temperature is below -30 degrees Celsius. The wind screams through the snow-covered peaks. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, you cut your way out of your tent from the inside and run into the darkness barefoot. No coats, no boots, no supplies. Weeks later, rescuers find your body nearly a mile away. Some victims are missing their eyes. One is missing her tongue. Several have severe internal injuries, yet almost no external wounds. What could possibly scare experienced hikers so badly that they fled into the deadly Russian winter? More than 60 years later, nobody can answer that question with certainty. This is the chilling mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. The year was 1959. 9 young and experienced hikers from the Soviet Union prepared for what was supposed to be an ordinary winter expedition through the northern Ural Mountains. Their goal was ambitious, but achievable. They planned to reach Ural Mountain, one of the most remote areas in the region. The journey was classified as a Category 3 expedition, the highest difficulty level available in the Soviet Union. Every member of the group was experienced in skiing, mountaineering, and surviving in harsh winter conditions. Leading the expedition was 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, an engineering student whose experience and leadership earned him the respect of the entire group. The team included students, graduates, and skilled adventurers. They were young, healthy, disciplined, and highly trained. No one could have imagined that none of them would return alive. On January 23, 1959, the group departed from the city of Sverdlovsk. Their spirits were high. Photographs recovered later showed smiling faces, laughter, and excitement. The hikers traveled by train and truck before finally reaching the last inhabited settlement near the mountains. From there, they continued on skis into the wilderness. Originally, there were 10 members in the group. However, one member, Yuri Yudin, became sick during the early stages of the expedition. Suffering from severe joint pain, he made the difficult decision to turn back. He hugged his friends goodbye, expecting to see them again within weeks. He would become the only survivor of the expedition. Years later, Yudin would say that leaving the group was the greatest regret of his life. By February 1st, the hikers had reached the slopes of a mountain known to the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl. Its translation is chilling, Mountain of the Dead. Due to poor visibility and worsening weather conditions, the group lost their intended route toward Ural Mountain. Instead of descending to a safer forested area for shelter, they decided to set up camp directly on the exposed mountainside. The decision puzzled investigators for decades. Why camp on an open slope when protection from the wind existed below? The hikers pitched their tent and settled in for the night. This would be the last time they were ever seen alive. The group was expected to send a telegram upon returning from the expedition. Days passed. No message arrived. At first, families assumed delays were normal. Winter expeditions often ran behind schedule, but eventually concern turned into panic. On February 20th, search teams were sent into the mountains. What they discovered would become one of the most disturbing scenes in modern history. The tent was found partially buried under snow, but something was terribly wrong. The tent had been cut open from the inside, not the outside. The hikers had apparently escaped by slashing their way through the fabric instead of using the entrance. Even stranger, footprints led away from the tent. Some footprints belonged to people wearing socks. Others were barefoot. In temperatures cold enough to kill within minutes, the hikers had left behind boots, coats, and survival equipment. Why? What had frightened them so badly? About 1.5 kilometers from the tent, beneath a large cedar tree, rescuers found the first two bodies. They belonged to Yuri Krivonyshenko and Yuri Doroshenko. Both men were wearing very little clothing. They had attempted to build a fire beneath the tree. The branches above them were broken high up, suggesting one or both had climbed the tree, possibly trying to look back toward the tent. Nearby, investigators discovered the body of Igor Dyatlov. He appeared to be crawling back toward the camp. Soon after, two more bodies were discovered between Dyatlov and the cedar tree. It looked as though several members of the group had tried to make their way back to the tent but never made it. The cold claimed them first. Months later, after the snow began to melt, search teams discovered the remaining 4 hikers inside a ravine covered by several meters of snow. Their injuries shocked investigators. One victim had massive chest trauma comparable to injuries caused by a car crash. Another suffered severe skull fractures. Yet remarkably, there were very few external wounds. It was as if an invisible force had crushed them from within. The most disturbing discovery involved 20-year-old Lyudmila Dubinina. Her tongue was missing. So were her eyes. Another victim was also missing eyes. Rumors spread rapidly. Had they been attacked? Had animals scavenged the bodies? Or was something far stranger responsible? Adding to the mystery, traces of radiation were later found on some pieces of clothing. The case only became more confusing. Over the decades, countless theories have attempted to explain the incident. The official Soviet investigation concluded that the hikers died because of an unknown compelling force, a statement that solved nothing. One theory suggests an avalanche forced the hikers to flee their tent. Recent studies support the possibility of a delayed slab avalanche. However, critics argue that the slope was too gentle and the tent remained largely intact. Others believe military testing may have played a role. Witnesses in the area reported strange orange lights in the sky around the time of the incident. Could secret Soviet weapons have been involved? Some proposed infrasound generated by strong wind created panic and irrational behavior. Others blamed hypothermia-induced confusion. And of course, more unusual theories emerged. Aliens, secret experiments, even creatures lurking in the mountains. But despite decades of investigation, no single explanation answers every question. Today, the location where the tragedy occurred is known as Dyatlov Pass, named after expedition leader Igor Dyatlov. It stands as a memorial to the 9 hikers who never returned home. Perhaps the truth lies buried beneath the snow. Perhaps it disappeared with the storm that night in 1959. Something happened on that mountain that forced 9 experienced hikers to abandon safety and run into a freezing wilderness. The Dyatlov Pass incident will remain one of the most chilling mysteries in human history. So what do you think happened on that mountain? Was it an avalanche? A military secret? Or something we still don't understand? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy mysteries, dark history, and unsolved cases, subscribe to Mystery Crafted for more stories that refuse to be forgotten.